Hi everyone, this is the Preacher of Spice, and it's kind of a rainy day today, and I've decided I'm going to do a little baking. So I'm going to try a recipe that I've been thinking about trying, and it's called Scotcheroos. So got some Rice Krispie cereal, and I know today it's pretty rainy. My whole yard looks like I got a lake out front of my deck, so it's been raining so much here. So it's kind of a gloomy day. Sounds like a good time to do a little baking. So I just hope that, I just hope no one drives by that's going to assess my place. And with all the water standing, hope they don't charge me now for lake frontage. So anyhow, that's how much water I got standing right now. But it'll disappear. So much for that. Scotcheroos, yes. We're going to start with here. Got some Rice Krispies here. Got some Rice Krispies. Got 6 cups of that. So 6 cups of Rice Krispies we start with. And then we're going to start with make our sauce, I guess, that you pour over the top. I've never made these before. So we're going to give this here a shot. So it actually calls for 1 cup of sugar. And, and if I got a little bit less, so 1 cup of sugar. And I'll put it in my kettle here. So we're going to do my cover. Here we go. So rainy days. And so what I've got here today is, see if I can turn this down just a little bit. There. It's I've got like a little hot plate kettle. So I'm going to make my sauce, and then I'll pour it into the mixture. Hopefully I can keep this thing working here. I'll pour it in the mixture to mix it all together. So, and though I'm the Preacher of Spice, we're gonna doctor this up a little bit though. Once I get that far, and calls for 2 tablespoons of butter. Let's see, get some butter out here. I should have probably everything put together ahead of time, but. Today I just decided I'm just going to do it as I go. So 2 tablespoons of butter. So I need 2 little scoops there. Let's see here. Get my wrapper open. I know my buddy Skip here, he's sitting right next to me right now. He's hoping that I'm going to drop him something, I give him a little bit of a treat here, but not today, Skip. 1, 2 tablespoons of butter. So we'll just cut it out. So cut it, drop it in my pan. So got my butter, got my sugar, and then calls for light corn syrup. I want to watch anyone that's got kind of sugar problems. You know, you got either diabetic or pre-diabetic. I handle what is it? Maple syrup, pure maple syrup better, and it breaks down better. And that. So today I'm going to put honey in it instead, and that actually works better also. So calls for a cup. And what I do here with my measuring cup is I actually put some oil in it and move it around, wipe it around in there, so that I can it'll come out a little bit easier. So. You know what I should have did here probably is take this cover off, because it is not pouring really well. There we go. That might work a little bit better. There we go. So we get our corn syrup in there, or honey put in there. And actually I thought about adding, not quite enough, just adding a little bit of maple syrup to it, but I don't want to alter the recipe too much. So let's do about a cup of that. That looks pretty close. It could be a little shy. It's a little shy of a full cup. So I've got a cup of sugar, my honey, my butter's in there. I'm going to start turning this up a little bit. I'm going to put it on fairly low heat. Don't want it to really boil hard. So I've got my spatula out here, get all that honey out of here. so that'll come out easier. There we go. Yeah, that worked out okay. So we got our honey out, and I'm starting to just heat up my pan a little bit. So we got 1 cup of honey. Now it calls for a cup of peanut butter. So I'll put my peanut butter in there. And like I said, I've never made these. I make a lot of rice. Used to make a lot of Rice Krispies squares when the kids were younger. I haven't done that now in a long time. Even made those. So here I am trying to make these things. Yeah, here's some honey. That's pretty good honey. So this is heating up. There we go. Get my peanut butter out of here. So today is a really gloomy day here in Wisconsin. I don't know, they got some storms crossing the country, so I'm not sure. Glad it's not snow. We'd really be snowed in with all the rain that I had come through here. And so a full cup of peanut butter. Wow. All right. So we got the peanut butter going in. Peanut butter is good for you. It's good protein. And I'm sure people would say, well, what I'm using isn't necessarily the healthiest neither. All right, let's get my peanut butter in there. Get the peanut butter in there. There we go. Almost got it. There. So now what I want to do is get this thing. Man, I even got this on low here. Let's mix this stuff all up in here. Gotta get some, so got my butter, sugar, peanut butter. Let's get that thing going. Vanilla. I need some vanilla. And here's my vanilla. I like the Watkins vanilla. I don't know. I just think I think it's got a good flavor to it. Sometimes I like the flavor better than the completely natural stuff. Vanilla, 1 teaspoon. And so I don't measure necessarily. 1 teaspoon of vanilla. It always ends up being a little bit more. I don't have a problem with that. Oh, my sugar crystallized on the bottom. Okay. Keep this thing stirring so I don't get a burn on the bottom. Get my butter melted in there. And then we got to get a pinch of salt, whatever that is. So who knows what a pinch is. So I just kind of pour it in my hand a little bit. You know, just kind of toss it in there a little bit. Pinch, toss it in. Good enough. So I want this stuff to kind of melt, I guess. Soften up. Becomes a little bit more liquidy. Get the peanut butter to kind of melt a little bit. Get my butter all melted. And then we got to push, then we'll dump it in with the Rice Krispies. And once the Rice Krispies are mixed with it, then we push it in a pan. I'm going to use this pan right here. Recipe says lined with parchment paper. I don't like parchment paper. I don't know, I just don't like hassling with it. I spray it with a little butter flavored spray. I wipe it down. Sides are greased that way. And never had really any problems with that. So here we are. My stuff is melted. I think the sugar needs to melt a little bit more. So we'll keep mixing it as we go. as well try the peanut butter. That was pretty good. And while this is kind of heating up a little bit, I have my 4-cup measuring cup. And what it calls for is, since they're Scotcheroos, I've got a big bag of peanut butter, or butterscotch chips. So the bag of butterscotch chips, we're going to dump that in my bowl here. I also found I couldn't find the regular ones that I wanted, but I got Hershey's milk chocolate chips. I'm going to try them. Let's open these up. And I'm going to dump these in here. And I forgot one thing I was going to put in here. And what I do is when I melt my chocolate chips, I'm going to walk out just a second. Sorry about that. Then I'm going to leave just a second. I'm going to grab some coconut oil. Here we go. I am back. And I want to add just a little bit of coconut oil. It actually makes it spreadable. It spreads out a little easier. Don't need a lot. So I'm just going to add maybe like a, I don't know, teaspoon of it. It'll kind of mix in as it's being microwaved. Maybe add a little bit more. The coconut oil. And that gives it, it'll just kind of help it dissolve a little bit better. Here's my rig. So I'm going to put this in the microwave real quick, 30 seconds at a time until it's good and melted. And what it says is you want 1.5 cups of chocolate chips with 1.5 cups of the butterscotch chips. I don't know, I just put a bag each in. I mean, that comes out close, I think. So this is looking pretty good right now. I think my sugar's all melted by now. I'll try one more time. Butter's not. Sugar isn't dissolved all the way yet. So maybe I need to heat it up just a little bit more. I'll turn it up to 2.5 on my thing. I'll mix my chips here. Okay. 30 more seconds here. We'll do 30 more seconds on the chocolate chips. And then when they're done, so as soon as my mixture here, once the sugar's dissolved, because I don't want granulated sugar. So, don't want to boil it, because that'll burn everything too, so, but anyhow. So I'm going to make these, and then we're going to add a little spice to it, since I am the preacher of spice, and since I like to share with Mr. Brad Warden, he likes a little spice. So these are Scotcheroos. So I thought about this. What can I do to kick this up a little bit? And so I went online and started looking for some peppers. Found Pepper Joe's here. And so I got my Scotcheroos, and I'm going to add some Scotch bonnet pepper powder. Scotch bonnet pepper powder. And I tried it when I got it here with just tasting the powder. Got a little kick to it. So I'm going to add that. Actually, I'm going to add it to my chocolate. I'm not going to add it to the whole thing. I'm just going to add it to the chocolate part. And so it should give us enough kick and heat. So this way too, if somebody wants to eat it, they don't want the heat, they can, they can discard the chocolate if they want. But chocolate and spice go nice together. So let's give this another try here. Well, I think it's about done. So let me grab this over here. We're going to do this. Pour this mixture in here. It's almost turning caramely. So, I don't know. And my sugar is turning more like a caramel. Kind of tastes good. Like I said, I've never made these. I don't even know if I'm doing it right. Turn this heat off here. And put that back on there. I'm gonna mix up my Rice Krispies here. So 6 cups of Rice Krispies, get my mix going in here. So I'm gonna make sure my Rice Krispies are well coated. And then when they're well coated, we'll put them in the pan. And then, yeah, I'll get my chocolate out. So, try and get all this stuff timed about right. Ooh, this is getting stiff. Okay. Yeah. We did it okay. I don't know if I did it right or not. We'll see. It's almost like making yeah, marshmallow treats. It's getting kind of sticky and stiff. Yeah, it's actually looking pretty coated. So now I'm going to bring my pan over here. I'm going to see if I can tip this down a little bit. Let's get this one thing out of the way. Get this out of the way. Let me bring this on down. Got my pan. There we go. So, got my treats. Put my Rice Krispies in here. There we go. And, yeah. I don't know. I've heard good reviews on Scotcheroos. It's supposed to be pretty good from what I hear. So we got them in the pan. And now we're going to spread them out. And just like you do with Rice Krispies, kind of pat them in place. Don't, I guess don't push them too tight. Because otherwise they'll get really tough, hard. But you do want to firm them in there so they stay. And when I do Rice Krispies, I usually get my hands wet, a little bit wet with water. And then I push them in place. So I'm gonna use my hands here now. They're a little sticky. I'm gonna grab a little water quick, just on my hands. Just get them moist. Yeah, there we go. Got my hands moist so it won't stick. And I'll try and spread them out evenly the best I can. Try and get even thickness here. And want them to hold together. There we go. That's looking pretty good. So, there we go. I think that's about right. Yeah. Nice and firm. They're not moving much. And there they are. So I got the top, the bottom done. I got to finish up my chocolate, and we'll keep melting and working on melting the chocolate. And I'll be bringing it out. Let me go grab it. I'll stir it up a little bit. So, fortunately, a lot of this is off camera. So, yeah. Keep mixing this. And you don't want to, it'll melt down pretty nice. You just got to keep adding some heat to it. You don't want to melt it too fast. And so 30 more seconds. Well, I've got enough. I'm going to do a minute because I've got enough there. So yeah, so check out my other videos. This morning I did a review on some hot sauce. It was good. It was very good hot sauce. Had a smoky flavor to it. I'm gonna have once I get this thing prepared and get my chocolate ready, we'll spread the chocolate on top. And once my chocolate is ready, then I'm gonna add my Scotch bonnet pepper powder to the chocolate. I'm gonna mix it in with the chocolate, then we'll put the chocolate on top, let her cool, and it'll be ready to go. So it should give a nice little, excuse me, got some powder, chocolate, or pepper powder in my throat. So we will do that, and I will, keep working on my chocolate. 1 second again here. Let's get it stirred up. Yeah, oh, there we go. That's looking much better. Almost there already. Yeah, see, my chocolate's looking pretty good. So I'll turn everything down once I get it done. So still got some chunks of chocolate in there. We'll just kind of keep stirring it as it goes. Let me turn this down again a little bit so you can kind of see a little bit better on what we got. Still got some chunks of chips in there. You can smell the chocolate, and you can smell the butterscotch. And so I'm going to give it another 30 seconds here. And as we keep moving forward, 30 seconds. That might just do it, I hope. So again, I'm going to almost squat down. I should get my chair here. Maybe I'll do that so I can keep talking to you. And yeah, been an interesting week. Yep. So we're getting ready for spring around here. Flowers are starting to come on up a little bit. So I got a lot of yard work to do. So getting ready for that. And Easter's getting close. Not this weekend, the following weekend. Is Easter Sunday. I know all the kids are looking for that, but it's a good day. Easter's a good time to remember, and so I'll be preaching this Sunday, Ash Wednesday. So I'm preaching, filling in for a pastor, so I'll get to preach this Sunday again. And then Easter is a good time to remember those what the Lord's done for us, that He's conquered death, that we can one day be with Him. Be with Him in eternity. So, yeah, it's a wonderful blessing. There's many, many blessings. And I know I've got a lot of blessings. Got my 2 daughters, they're a blessing. My 5 grandkids, they're a blessing. And, of course, my fiancée, she's been a real blessing to me also. So, I am blessed beyond all measure. So, anyhow, 30 more seconds here. So, I'm blessed to have somebody in my life that taught me how to cook. So, I'm not afraid to give things a shot or try. And I like to experiment. So, I gotta find what measuring cups, measuring. So, I don't think I want that big a one. And I think I'm gonna do is I've got a fourth of a teaspoon here. I think I'm gonna put a fourth of pepper in there. A fourth of a teaspoon of pepper in my chocolate. That should mix in very well. And yeah, we're gonna give that a shot. So here we go, chocolate. Yeah, I think we're all good here. I think we got this all. Yeah, you know what? Still got some pieces in there, don't I? That butterscotch don't want to really melt down, but I'm going to leave it. I don't want to get it too hot. All right, here we go. Here's a good 1/4 teaspoon Scotch bonnet pepper. So let's spread this around in here. Oh my goodness, I gotta quit breathing this stuff in. So mix her in, really good. Scotch bonnet. I want to make sure I got enough spice though. And let's see, what do we got? Oh, that looks really good, doesn't it? Ooh, nice. It's got some nice shine to it from the little bit of the oil I put in there, and it'll firm up once it cools down. So I'm going to grab a little spoon here, and we're going to do the old dip taste. Here we go. How hot is this? That is got good flavor. Heat is starting to come a little bit. Not quite what I had in mind. So I'm going to add a little bit more. Scotch bonnet is not. So I'm going to add another 1/4. And let's go from there and see what we get. I want to be able to taste the pepper, so just kind of experiment. This is all experimental for me today, so all these recipes. So, you know, I don't get into all the competitions out there, but I do enjoy cooking. I enjoy changing some things up, and been a few people that talk about, mention it, with me adding spices to some of these dishes. Kind of unique. There we go. Well, got a little bite. A little bit in the throat. I'm trying to, I know what my heat level is. I know if I share it with Mr. Brad Warden, it's not going to be hot at all for him. Just kind of tingles the tongue a little bit in the back of the throat. Kind of nice. I know, I'm going to add one more. I think my heat tolerance, well, I've been doing some heat again, or hot stuff again. So I just think maybe my tolerance is up. Every time I put that powder in there, wow, it grabs me. So here we go. I'm going to leave it at that, because I think this is going to be hot enough. Because I know camera person might want to try it for Mr. Brad Warden, and they might, let's clean spoon, and if I make it too hot, I'll hear about it, that they couldn't enjoy it because it was too hot. Okay, that's coming up now. Yeah. That's good. Yeah, that's starting to grab. So we got some heat. So I did 3/4 teaspoon of now what we're going to do is we're just going to pour this good old chocolate over the top. And I suppose, I could have did more. Oh, yeah, it's starting to bite a little bit. So, and if he wants more heat, he can put more powder on it, or he can think of something else to put in there. So, but I think we got a good amount, because I know the kids are going to want to try some. Awesome sauce and Little Man of Fire. He's been trying more stuff lately. So especially when it comes to something like this. So we'll just kind of spread it out. Try and get it all the corners. Get all the edges covered. And keep it going here. Here we go. And then once it hardens, we can cut into it. But the chocolate right now is, yeah, got it in my throat a little bit. I can taste it. So, Scotch bonnet. For me, I could have probably added one more, probably a good teaspoon of Scotch bonnet pepper powder. I probably could even have gone to some more ghost pepper powder, but I want the grandkids to enjoy some of it. They're starting Awesome Sauce and Little Man of Fire. They'll want to try that, some of it. There we go. There we go. Let's get this all spread out there. Yeah. All right. Spread pretty nice. That's why I put a little bit of that oil in there. Here's the finished product. So these are my Scotcheroos with Scotch bonnet pepper chocolate on top. And so we're going to give it a try. And so I'm going to let it cool. And if I can restart this, I'll come back, and once it cools, we'll give it a quick taste test. All right, we're gonna see what we got here. It's not quite hardened completely, but most of the chocolate on the edge here is. So I'm gonna just cut a little piece here, and see what we've got. Like I said, I have never made these before. There we go. Oh, firmed up pretty nice. Ooh. Look at that. It looks like the picture when so it looks good. And there's plenty of heat in there. I cleaned up a little bit of the chocolate. I tasted some of the leftover chocolate, and I got some pretty good heat from it. So I'm sure it won't be as hot with this. So I'm going to take a bite. And it's nice and firm. So my Scotcheroos with Scotch bonnet pepper chocolate on top. Put honey in place of the white caramel syrup. Wow. Oh. Yeah. Get a good kick. Yeah, good stuff. Got some good heat. Yeah. But, wow, these taste really good. You can taste the milk chocolate. I can taste the butterscotch chips. Butterscotch. And then the peanut butter in there. And, yeah, nicely formed. That is, wow, I like that. That is really good. So again, Scotcheroos, and they turned out. First time I made them. So, kind of motto is, anyone can cook if you can read. Just follow the directions. So, of course, I don't. I add things, take things away. A lot of times I cook, I just dump. I pour till it looks good. Kind of like my barbecue sauce. My kids want my barbecue sauce recipe. And one of these years, I'm going to have to sit down and figure out how much of everything I put in it. Because I go by taste, I go by look, and I just kind of keep dumping stuff till it tastes good. So, anyhow, Scotcheroo recipe. Again, follow the recipe I've got here. My recipe: 6 cups of Rice Krispies, 1 cup of sugar, white sugar, 2 tablespoons of butter. Can add just maybe a little bit more. I did. 1 cup of light corn syrup or honey. I used honey. 1 cup of peanut butter. 1 teaspoon of vanilla. A pinch of salt. 1½ cups of butterscotch chips and 1½ cups of milk chocolate chips. I just put in a bag each. I don't know exactly how much, if that's a cup and a half or not. Plenty chocolatey. As you can see on top, there's plenty of chocolate. Thick enough on there. So, yeah, very good. And that chocolate is really nice and creamy. But I add just a little bit. I add just a little bit of oil, the coconut oil to it. That just kind of gives it a nice shine, gives it a smooth, so you can spread it out better, and it still hardens. You know, it still firms up, and yeah, excellent recipe. Go out, try some. Yeah, experiment with your peppers, spice, and again, go out, try to make this recipe. Appreciate it if you'd subscribe to my page, and give me a thumbs up for like. And this is the Preacher of Spice signing off and wishing you all a wonderful, blessed day, and stay dry with this weather coming through. Lots of rain. All right. Have a blessed night.